Welcome to The Shield, your all-access pass to everything Spartan football. Each week we bring you inside the huddle, behind the stats, and onto the field with the Rochester Mayo Spartans. From game highlights and player spotlights to in-depth interviews and strategic breakdowns, we celebrate the grit, pride, and tradition that defines Spartan football. This isn't just about touchdowns, it's about heart, hustle, and the legacy we defend every Friday night. Strength, pride, purpose. This is The Shield.
Hello and welcome everybody to The Shield. I am Rob Cawthorn, is joined as always by head coach Johnny Holcomb and our main man Bodie behind the camera there. This is our Owatonna episode where we will jump into some JM recap, and then we will move over and transition to some players with senior leader Brody Schmidt this week, and then we will wrap it up with talking about the Owatonna Huskies, our opponent for this week. So as always, start off the show. If you'd like to help support us here on The Shield, you can reach out to us to our Gmail account, and if you want to be a weekly show sponsor or any kind of that, or you can go to the For Giving link and donate that way as well too. So we'd love any help. It just, like I said, it allows us to keep doing these things, whether we added the sideline reporting this year and had to buy some equipment to do that, or whatever, some other things we might be able to do to help promote the live stream or the Shield show. It's always a great thing. So any help is appreciated. So wow. So I thought 2 onside kicks was something I'd never seen before and was going to be the craziest thing that happened all year. And lo and behold, the Spartans proved me wrong and found a way to even make a game more crazy than that. And I don't even think it comes close to being as crazy as the 2 onside kicks was. But once again, I can't even imagine the roller coaster of emotions for coaches and everything that was happening. I was down there on the sidelines, and just taking it all in sometimes. But do you guys as coaches ever just kind of look at each other after something like that and go, what in the world just happened? And, did it really just happen?
I just kind of grin sometimes after the fact, just trying to think about it, because it's nothing that you drew up. It's nothing you planned. It's nothing you practiced for. It's just the way the game goes sometimes, and then the guts of our kids to finish it out. But, I'm super glad that we ended up on top, but also when you coach, you want to feel like you earned what you got. And at some point I didn't, but then I thought, man, these kids, they busted their butt through tons of injuries and freshmen and sophomores playing on the field for us. They really, really put everything into it until the last second of the game, and that's why we were able to win it. Yeah.
No, it's, as we knew it was going to be kind of a competitive game. These crosstown games can't always be that way. We knew there was going to be a lot of people, and it was kind of interesting on the sidelines after there was some alumni, there on the sidelines, and and after the game, the kids came up and grabbed the jug, and I was kind of putting my headset down and stuff, and one of the guys came up and he asked me, he goes, "Oh, do you coach?" And I go, "No." I said, "I'm just kind of down here doing the sideline stuff for our live stream." And he goes, what I thought was really, really cool, he goes, no matter what the score was or no matter kind of the circumstance of the game, he goes, the kids would come over to the new TV set that you got, and they would watch film and you'd see them there. And he goes, there wasn't one time where they came over and were blaming each other or yelling at each other or upset with each other. He goes, there was always somebody coming over there that they were supporting each other. They were telling each other that, hey, we got this. Let's just, let's fix this and do that. And he said it was just really, really cool to see because, he goes, unfortunately, in today's day and age of social media, you just kind of hear about, this generation or that generation, but primarily, this generation just being selfish and all about themselves and wanting everything now. And he said, so to see a group of young men, rally around each other, support each other, and never, never get down on each other. He said it was just very cool to see. And so that's kind of something you've been talking about a lot this year with this group, with this group of kids. And, whether, like you said, it was a 9th grader or 12th grader, it doesn't seem to matter, this team, that they're collectively there trying to, make sure everybody has what they need to succeed.
Yeah. I mean, it's what our culture is and the family that we call ourselves within the football program. And they have trust and respect in each other because of the work they put in the off season and earned it. So, but again, I give JM a ton of credit. Like I told Coach Riggett after the game, like we haven't played them for the 2-3 years. So they are so much improved and well coached. And, we had something bounce our way and luckily we took advantage of it.
So talk a little bit about, these kinds of games. What, from your experience, you've been around football a long time. What are these kinds of games? What can it kind of do to help, a team's confidence, a team's belief in themselves, a team's, approach to, tough situations? What have you seen these kinds of games be able to do in a positive way for a team?
Well, I think we've put ourselves in pretty much every situation. I keep saying that every week, but then something new pops up. But so, it's experience and they're able to keep composure. And that's the nice thing is if we can be down by what we've been down in games and have enough composure to come back, like we're never out of a game.
And, you talked a little bit about the things JM were doing, and I agree with you. Just some unbelievable football players on that side of the ball. Everybody kind of knew coming in about the wide receiver, but that running back who then also was D end. What a special player that kid was. But is it just something about this team where the defense likes to let teams get inside the 10-yard line and then do something, magical, and that the offense just likes to see how fast or how little of time they're going to have left to be able to score? Is it just something where they kind of like to push them, challenge themselves to see, what we can come up with and what we can, do on both sides of the ball?
I don't have a clue. Obviously I don't have a clue, but I think we're getting closer to finding what we do well, and we'll see if it works this week.
Awesome. Well, like you'd kind of mentioned before, we were talking a little bit about it, and, we both agreed that I think this one's going to be one that not only our players talk about, but, the John Marshall players talk about, and people just in general talk about, when you talk to somebody 30 years from now going, oh, when they've been playing now for the Jug for 40, or 35 years or whatever, and somebody goes, well, what was a good Jug game? And, I have to believe that this is one that, as you get older and you tell stories to your kids about your football days, that this one's gonna be kind of up there, not even just for the players, but for also the coaches as well.
Yeah, it's just another great example to the Minnesota State High School League of why these teams, these schools in town need to play. It doesn't matter that one has a couple hundred more than the other. Look how competitive it was. It's about the kids in Rochester playing each other, so it was awesome.
Yeah, no, I agree. And, just kind of does make me wonder sometimes, though, if Rochester had one team.
That's what it would.
It would kind of, it would be a pretty fun football to watch. But, Coach, great win. Once again, there's always things that could have, would have, should have, but at the end of the day, like we've always talked about, the most important thing is the win, and that's what we got. So great job doing that, and good luck moving forward. But we will be right back with senior leader Brody Schmidt and the two guests that he's going to be bringing with us. We'll be right back on the Shield.
Of the season, you can see exciting plays like this, winding down fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock, second down, 8 yards. And if the Rockets can get points, it would be devastating. Here's a passing play, underthrown and intercepted by the Spartans as Charlie Kidd found a bouncing ball, and that's exactly what the Spartans needed, was to turn the ball over, and it finally bounced right for the Spartans.
Hello and welcome back to the Shield. This is the Owatonna edition. It is that time of the show now where we get to meet a few of the players, and this week's senior leader is senior Brody Schmidt. Brody, I'm going to let you introduce who you brought with you this week.
Here I got both Wernerbergs, Gavin Wernerberg and Cameron Wernerberg.
Awesome. Well, guys, thanks for coming. Cameron, Gavin, thank you for, I'm sure your mother is so proud. I can't tell you that this is a special, special thing for her. And so you guys made your mom proud. So congratulations. And thanks for doing that. So let's start talking a little bit about John Marshall. So an extremely crazy game, right? I mean, you think you've seen it all, and then that game happens. And for the Spartans and Spartan fans, we ended up on the right side of it and very easily could not have. But talk a little bit about from, the time Charlie gets, the turnover of the year to this point in time. Was there any point in any of you guys' mind that we weren't going to win that game? And what did that kind of whole last, couple minutes feel like?
So I actually heard the crowd cheer, "This one's our house," or whatever. And I told people to my right and left, I'm like, spoke too soon. I had faith, and, it's just good that Charlie can come out with that sweet interception.
Yeah, when Chuck got that interception and we had the ball, I had faith in us because I feel like when we come down to that 2-minute offense and quick tempo, that's like what we do best. So I felt like we were going to win.
Yeah, I agree with what they said. Like, I knew if we got the ball, we were just going to come back and score and just get that winning touchdown. And when Charlie got that pick, just gave me faith.
So usually what I try to do is I try to ask questions and then have all three people kind of answer. But this week I'm going to do a little bit different. So I kind of got a question planned for each one of you, and then just kind of to go off of kind of like what happened at the John Marshall game. So Gavin, I'm going to start with you. And as you see that ball coming at you, corner of the end zone, couple of things. One, what's going through your mind? Are you like, man, we're going to win the game. I'm going to catch this ball and we're going to win the game and all that kind of stuff. And then, so after that, with everything going through your mind, and then what was it like at that point in time once you caught it to see everybody, all of your teammates coming down? What's the first thing you remember seeing after you catch the ball?
Yeah, so when we were running up that play right in the huddle and they moved me over to the trip side, and Isaac said if that safety was playing in, I have the corner. So I was like, yeah, this could be it. So then I went, he threw the ball over, and I saw that ball coming. I was just praying don't drop it. All the pressure was on, but no, it was fun. And then when I caught it and I saw everyone running over, it really felt surreal, and just that we actually, won the game. We're winning. So
yeah.
It was fun.
Do you remember the first thing that what after you caught it? I mean, was it just a deep breath of just like, okay, I caught it?
Yeah, it was like a big sigh. Just like we marched all the way down, and it felt really good.
Awesome. It's got to be. I mean, it's got to be up there for you as far as a football memory. I mean, I don't know what would top it as of right now, but hopefully maybe a state tournament catch or something along those lines. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But it's got to be up there for you right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. So Brody, we'll go on to you. And unfortunately, you had to come out of the game due to some concussion protocol. First of all, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling better.
Good.
A lot better.
Good. But so for you, I can't imagine what it was like to go through not being out there for Chuck's play and then now not being able to be out there on the offensive side of things. But, what were your emotions like going through all of that, just being there on the sidelines watching, these guys that you've played football with since fourth grade trying to go down and beat guys that you've been competing against since you've been in fourth grade?
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that it happens. I mean, it's football. There's a bunch of injuries. And when I heard I couldn't come back out in the second half, I was, disappointed because senior year, I want to play as much as I can. But realize when I'm on that field, I got to support my boys. I mean, these are guys I grew up with, and I just got to make sure every single one is happy and, can get their team together and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, and I think that, it plays a crucial role, as far as sometimes it just goes with that leadership part that, you might not be able to be involved in the play, but you still got to kind of play a role in making sure everybody, stays in point. So, all All right, Cameron, so on to you. So you've gotten some action. Now, I think it was you who got the opening kickoff, right? Was that?
Yep.
That was your first kind of run back with the ball, so that must have been a little bit exciting. But as far as, on the sidelines, you see Charlie get the pick, and, now the offense is starting to go down, and then Big Brother makes this huge catch, the biggest catch of the season so far. I mean, what's going through your mind, when both of those are going on?
I was just going crazy on the sideline. Everybody else is going crazy, Next play, they all get in the huddle. They get out there. I see Gavin out there, and, Isaac throws the ball up, and I'm like, Gavin's got that. He's got that touchdown. And he caught it, scored, just went crazy.
That's awesome. What, are you on kickoff?
Yeah.
Okay, so then we score. Now they got still like 16 seconds left, and we've seen weirder things happen this year. So as you're out there getting ready on the kickoff team, what are some things that are going through your mind? Like I'm guessing is going through everybody's mind about let's just get down there, make this tackle, and then kind of put the pressure on them to to make a play.
Yeah. Just kick off, get down there, make sure just run the time down and make sure we secure that win.
Yeah, no, it was, and then it was still kind of right up there. They had a nice play there at the end, and still had some chances, and so you guys did a great job securing that tackle. So, well, it was a crazy game. I just know the emotions were so high. But for you guys, talk a little bit about just right after that night, the next day, just once you kind of had some time to reflect back, you go back and you watch the game a little bit. What are just some overall emotions that were going through you, that whole next 24-hour kind of time frame?
We did not play our best, that's for sure. We got to play a full game, and when we do that, we're very dangerous. And JM, we're just lucky that, our Corvette came on fire in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the day after, everyone was telling us how we probably shouldn't have won that game, but we kept putting the pedal to the metal, and we really tried at the end there, and it's just nice that it all came together.
We had a lot of injuries and a lot of kids out, but, some of these backups got in and really played their heart out.
Yeah, no, it was awesome to see, and we're going to need it again this week and, moving on probably for the next few weeks. So, all right, on to Owatonna. Let's talk a little bit about them. And, Brody, if I'm not mistaken, I believe on the preseason show, I asked all the senior leaders, which one team you're looking to play the most, and your answer was Owatonna, and when I asked, everybody why that was their game, I think your response was something along the lines, just because it's Owatonna. And I think that says enough for kind of what it means, this Mayo-Owatonna rivalry over the years. We've had some great games with them, some wins and some losses, and I don't expect this one's going to be any different. But, for all of you guys, what does playing Owatonna personally mean, to each of you?
Feels great because finally get to actually, play them. I played them ninth grade year, and just – they're just not that nice, and feels good that I can actually play against them and play a real game.
Yeah, no, the best part is whenever we play Owatonna, it's always a good game. So I feel like that's what we're most excited for. And back then we used to, knock them out of the playoffs. So it's trying to do that again.
Yeah, just like they said, it's a big rivalry game, and they hate us and we hate them, and, it's just a big game to win.
And when you guys, so we're filming this Monday night, so you've already had a practice in the books for today. But what's the mindset this week? What are you guys, talking about this week in practice that, you guys want to do to make sure that we secure the win against Owatonna?
I think we stop their run and let them pass the ball. On defense, we can do it. And our offense, we just execute, catch the ball and everything, just little things like Coach Serrano said today.
Yeah, going off Brody, Serrano's word was perfect for this week. Is all about little things, about penalties and your assignments and catching the ball, and I think that's perfect for this week so we can just dial it up and not think and just play.
Like they said, the little things, it's everything. If we get rid of those little things, we're unstoppable. We can beat any team.
Awesome. Well, excited to see. So it's 7 o'clock over there in Owatonna. So now we're going to shift kind of the little fun part here. We got 10 questions for you guys. Brody, you start, hand the microphone either way, and we'll go from there. So start with the one that I kind of like to know from everybody every week. But do you guys have any pregame rituals or superstitions?
Game day Chipotle. I get that every game before on lunch. But my dad walks in before we do our team meeting. I always give him a hug. And then after the national anthem, I always give Lincoln and a couple of my boys hugs.
Yeah, I mean, with Brody, Chipotle every game day. It's just has to every time. And then just during the day, drinking a lot of water and Gatorade and stuff. And usually I just like to listen to music and keep to myself before the game.
Like they said, Chipotle, with the whole team, it's fun. And sometimes during home games, I go to Quick Trip before.
Nice. All right, pretty easy one. I want to know, what is your favorite holiday and why?
It could either be Christmas or 4th of July, but I'm going to go Christmas. I've just grown up loving getting gifts and, just Christmas vibes are just where it's at.
Sweet. Love it.
I'm going to have to go 4th of July. A little biased because it's my birthday, but it's nice to have a relaxing day on the lake, just middle of the summer. It's just always nice.
Yeah, I got to say Christmas, too, because, I just love the presents. I love that it's cold outside but warm inside, and it's just relaxing.
Yeah. Nobody with Thanksgiving, with football and food. That's what I'd have to go with. But all right, which teammate is most likely to show up late to practice because they were too busy gaming or scrolling social media?
Your son, Brody Cawthorn.
Yeah, definitely BC.
Yeah, I'd probably say BC or, to be honest, probably Brody Schmidt.
What's the funniest thing a coach has ever yelled on the sidelines, whether on purpose or by accident?
Honestly, Coach Serrano, just screaming anything and everything possible, just going crazy at all times.
Yeah, Serrano, he is whenever something good happens, he's the biggest cheer, and it's just, you love to see it.
I kind of got to say Urban because he gets fired up on that sideline, He gets really fired up.
Are you referencing something, Cameron, specifically that happened last game?
Maybe.
All right. When the team is down and things are getting tough, who is the teammate you look to for a calming presence or a burst of energy?
Honestly, probably like John Mueller. He's just like a calm guy that could get everybody going.
Yeah, I'd say John too for calm energy, but a burst of energy, definitely Mason. I mean, he literally likes to get hype and get going, so that's good.
I got to say Chuck for the burst of energy because, he's just getting us hyped up in the locker room.
Awesome. All right. What's one thing you're secretly really good at that has nothing to do with football?
I could say I'm a bit of a good golfer.
Okay.
I'd like to say I'm pretty good at bowling, I think. I mean, it depends who you ask, but I think when I'm on, I'm on.
Do you straight ball it or do you spin it?
No, I spin it.
You got a little spin?
Little curve, yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Agree to disagree.
I got to say I'm a good eater. If there's food in my face, I eat it.
I love it. Competitive eating. Let's get you enrolled in some events. All right. Which teammate is most likely to take over when Coach Holcomb retires as the next head coach for Mayo football?
That's a good one. Maybe I see Loomis sticking around, just always coaching or something like that.
Honestly, I think in a while, I think BC could. I think I see him just loving the game and sticking with it.
I got to say maybe Charlie Kipp because, I feel like he's just passionate and he just loves the game.
Nice. Love it. All right. What does leaving it all on the field mean to you personally?
120%. Just giving it your all, all you have. If you're tired, keep going.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go off that is just trying every play and having no regrets after. Just that you put it all out, so you have nothing to be ashamed of or sad about.
like what they said, just emptying your gas tank, giving it your all. Every play is 120%, just giving it your all.
Nice. All right. Is there a teammate who on road trips really has to have a certain seat on the bus?
I think it's Buddy. He always sits in the way back. Yeah.
I think that Patrick Hessler should always sit next to the toilet because I feel like he gets motion sick or he eats something bad and it's always never good.
I got to agree with Patrick Hessler. He's got to sit next to the bathroom.
Who is someone, all right, last one. Who is someone outside of this team who has been your biggest source of motivation or support?
Maybe my parents and grandparents. And wait, Uncle Dan.
I've got to say my dad. I mean, just working with me even like out of practice and just helping me out with stuff.
Yeah, I got to say my parents, I look up to them and, they're a big leader.
Awesome. Well, guys, thanks so much for taking the time tonight. I know it's late, and I want to get you guys home. Best of luck against Owatonna this week, and let's just keep rolling. No matter, I think we've won in every fashion possible, so let's just keep this one going, and best of luck. And please stay healthy. We don't need anybody. We don't need any more on the MASH unit sidelines there, so we're going to have a better squad on the sidelines than we are sometimes out on the field. So best of luck, and stay healthy, and we'll see you boys Friday night. All right, we'll be right back with Coach Holcomb to talk about Owatonna when we get back on the Shield.
This 5A matchup, crosstown rivalry. John Marshall Rockets have had the Spartans on the ropes all game, and now it is coming down to this. Here's Peterson, goes to the corner, has a man open, it's caught. Touchdown, Spartans! It's Wernberg for 6, and the Spartans, for the first time since the first half, are back in front. Bavivath from the pistol formation. 3 receivers left. And here's a pass. It's going to be in the middle. It's going to be an interception. Xavier Adams, pick 6 into the end zone. And the Spartans victorious here.
All right, welcome back to the Shield. I want to thank senior leader Brody Schmidt, senior Gavin Werneberg, and sophomore Cameron Werneberg for coming on the show with us. And Coach, as always, we kind of start this segment with giving you an opportunity to talk about the players that just showed up. So tell us a little bit about, Brody, Gavin, and Cameron.
Yeah, super cool kids. Obviously really good friends, and really neat to see the way that they include younger brother, as a sophomore into the group, like they do with any of the kids. But yeah, just an awesome group to have, and I know that they've passed on a lot of the same characteristics to the group below them too, and to Cameron's grade. So we're looking forward to that.
Awesome. So we're going to start talking, Owatonna here, but we, going to talk a little bit about, unfortunately, the injury bug has kind of bitten the Spartans a little bit. So when key players, keep going down and are going down like they did against in JM game, how crucial is this week of practice for the players who are going to be stepping into those roles to fill, those players going down?
I mean, the most important thing is they understand that they got their rookie play out of the way. So now we expect them to understand the speed of the game and the intensity and all that kind of stuff. The big eyes in the first game. And now they got to lock in. Like you said, they got to understand that they're going to be playing a ton, and it's the expectation that they're going to be out there. So they got to have a great week of practice. They got to bring maybe energy that some guys don't have in practice because they've been playing and starting all season, but to take advantage of their opportunity too and have fun.
Yeah, and playing Owatonna, they're always battles. Ever since I've been around, Spartan football, they've always been great games. Whether it's regular season games, section games, playoff, whatever it happens to be, they've always been battles. And I don't expect this year's going to be any different, no matter what records might say or anything like that. And so the only thing that's going to be different are going to be where you're playing. Not playing at the old high school anymore. Owatonna, this is going to be our first travel over to their new facilities, and just awesome, fields and everything that they got over there. So, what have you seen, so far from them that you guys, has jumped out to you both on O and D on the film?
I mean, they're the exact same Owatonna as always. So a couple things. I mean, they do what they do well. Like, the kids understand the system and they have a good scheme. But then it's a different group of kids too. It's not the same kids. So you have really no clue until you go up against them. But I mean, it's the same scheme on both sides of the ball that, we're used to seeing a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I think it's just, you think going into a game like this, it's like, okay, well, maybe this year they won't have big linemen. Nope, check. Still got that. Oh, maybe this year they won't have a speedy wide receiver. Nope, got that.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's just like you said, you just kind of keep watching film and going, yep, okay, I've seen this story and read this chapter a few times, but. Every week we talk about about wanting to make sure that we're getting better. And at this time in the season, kind of where you're at, what are some things you guys are hoping to not necessarily maybe, get better at, but let's refine some of the things we've been doing. And are you trying to find if there's things maybe you can expand on to add, whether it's on the offensive or the defensive side of the ball?
I mean, honestly, I'm going to have to say the exact two same things: penalties and execution. Because, again, we had 7 drop balls in our last game, and a couple of them were touchdown balls. So, I mean, those are the biggest things I can say that put points on the board and make a difference. But, execution, penalties, cutting down on the mistakes that we can control, but also getting other kids in the game. I think that's a positive, that we're focused on getting more kids into the game and playing during practice because we have to as well, yeah.
You talked a little bit about earlier before we came on to film it about sharing the scoring by quarter stat. Were you able to find that?
No, yeah. I mean, that's an interesting stat. So without New Prague's game in there, we're points by quarter on the year. I think it's like 22 for the first quarter, 30 for the second, 22 for the third, and then it's over 100 for the fourth. So we want some more points in those other quarters.
Yeah, that's a very, very interesting stat. I mean, but once again, I think, it's something we've talked about all year long is just that it's good to have the mentality of we're not out of it until we're out, until the game's over and we know we've lost. We got a feeling, we're in this game. So I think that's, it's a crazy stat to think, it's that many points in a quarter. But at the same point in time, hopefully that gives the boys confidence as they continue to go throughout the year. Last thing, about, getting ready for Owatonna. So you kind of talked about it a little bit in regards to, what's happening now with the injuries. And so, you had a freshman, Duke Bartu, playing most of the game at D tackle.
And some offense,
too. Coming in to spell some guys on offense. You have, now I know that one of the Xavier is hurt, but you still have, Raymond Adams kind of, trying to do multiple things as a sophomore. You had
other way around.
It was the other way.
Yeah, Raymond's the one that's hurt.
That's hurt. Okay, sorry. Yep. And then, I saw sophomore Grayson Yank get some playing time at wide receiver. He came in and made a catch. So as you've talked about, them being, kind of new to the game has changed. And now, some of these younger guys are going to have to step into these roles just because we don't have a choice anymore based on some of the injuries. So when that happens, how important is it to have, we bring on a senior leader every week and we bring on other really good seniors like Gavin or Jacob Canfield or Noah Hagan, or, I could go on and on and on about all these other, how important is it to have a nucleus of guys or seniors, or it doesn't even necessarily be seniors, but upperclassmen that now just pull these young kids in and say, listen, here's the deal. We expect you to perform now, and having that trust in those guys and what that does, to the outcome of the team.
Well, I think you hit it on the head is, those relationships have already been established through the summer and the winter and the fall camp and the respects there. So when one of the younger kids' numbers get called, they have their back, and they're excited for them to go in because they know their personality, their characteristics, and that they just want to go out there and win.
Yeah, that's, it's been a very interesting dynamic. Just a few games I've gotten to be on the sidelines, the 3 games so far, just to kind of see the dynamics, and you really can't quite, tell which grade which kid is in on a Friday. Everybody's wearing the same jersey, and I, you truly get that feeling down there in the sidelines.
Yeah.
So, Coach, thanks again for your time this week, and best of luck against Owatonna. And I mean, really, really keep everybody as healthy as you possibly can this week, and as we keep pushing towards this final stretch. So before we get into the closing, I also said that I would put a plug in for the senior party, or the senior class party is doing a fundraiser. They are selling these cool looking mugs for $20, and there's going to be a fundraiser going to be on November 2nd at Shars Country Palace. So mark that on your calendars, where you can buy one of these glasses. They'll be selling them during the Chanhassen home game, or you can get it right at the door at Shars on the 2nd. They'll be for $20, and you can bring it out there, and you can get it filled with some different libations and beverages and things like that. I think it's a bottomless cup for $20. So, but come out. There's going to be there's going to be baskets that you can win, where you can buy some raffle tickets and then put raffle tickets for certain baskets that you might want to win. So it's going to be a big time fundraiser for the senior party, the senior class party. And of course, the more we can raise, then the better party the seniors get. If you want one before, or you can't make it to the Chanhassen game, I'll be sure to find out more information about it and bring it to our next showing.
Look at this. I mean, I didn't even notice this. It's got a little grip for your thumb here.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have just went smooth, but they got the grip.
It's heavy duty stuff. It's a nice mug. So I'll bring them back again, talk about it again when we film going into the Chan game next week. But anyway, I wanted to get it out there. So they will be for sale for $20 at the Chan game. But the most important part is at least mark Sunday, November 2nd, I think it is, on your calendars for the senior class fundraising party out at Shars Country Palace. And then also just one last thing. Remember, if you want to sponsor or do any of that kind of stuff, reach out to us on our Gmail account or through Forgiving. We'd love to have the help and the support. So on behalf of myself, Rob Cawthorn, head coach Donnie Holcomb, and our main man, Bodie, behind the camera there, thank you, everybody, for watching the Owatonna edition of The Shield. And we'll see everybody Friday over in Owatonna. Go Spartans.
Go Spartans.
Hands up.
Hands up.